In 2026, the American gas station is facing its blockbuster video moment. But it isn't happening because we're running out of oil. It's happening because we are drowning in it. For a century, the gas station was a gold mine because you had no choice. If you wanted to move, you had to pay the gatekeeper at the pump. But right now, a massive global oil surplus is colliding with the fastest energy transition in history, and it's creating a financial dead zone for the 145,000 stations across the country. We were told for decades to fear peak oil, the moment the wells run dry. The uncomfortable truth is that we hit peak demand instead. In 2026, the world is producing 4 million barrels of oil more than it needs every single day. That is enough excess fuel to fill 250 Olympic-sized swimming pools every hour, with nowhere for it to go. At the same time, the green tsunami has finally reached the tipping point, with EV battery costs dropping below $100 per kilowatt hour and hybrid sales surging. The average car on the road is becoming twice as efficient as the one it replaced just a few years ago. This isn't a slow decline, it's a math problem that no longer has a solution. The gas station is a business built on forced stops. You stop because you're empty. But as charging moves to the home, the grocery store, and the office, and as a global surplus crashes the price of the fuel that's left, the reason to visit a station is evaporating. We are watching the infrastructure of the 20th century become the stranded assets of the 21st. This matters because these stations aren't just pumps, they are the cornerstones of local real estate. They sit on the most valuable corners in your town. If the surplus kills the profit and the green transition kills the customer base, we aren't just losing a place to buy fuel, we're looking at a multi-billion-dollar real estate collapse that starts at the corner of Main Street and ends in your pension fund. The traditional gas station is currently caught in a pincer movement that is crushing its financial soul. On one side, you have a global oil surplus that is driving prices down, and on the other, you have the efficiency trap. For 100 years, the gas station relied on the fact that internal combustion engines were incredibly wasteful. You had to come back every few hundred miles because your car was essentially a leaky bucket of energy. But by 2026, the green energy revolution has plugged that leak. It's not just the full EVs, though nearly 20% of new car sales being electric, they are taking a massive permanent bite out of the market. It's the hybridization of everything. The average new car in 2026 gets nearly 50 miles per gallon. This means that even the customers who haven't switched to electric are visiting gas stations half as often as they did a decade ago. This creates a negative feedback loop for the station owner. Most people don't realize that station owners make almost nothing on the gas itself, usually just a few cents per gallon. They are actually in the foot traffic business. The gas is just the bait to get you to buy a $4 energy drink or a $10 car wash. As EVs and high-efficiency hybrids drain that foot traffic, the station is forced to raise the price of snacks and services to stay afloat. But raising prices just drives more people away. Meanwhile, the global oil surplus is making the fuel so cheap and abundant that there is no brand loyalty left. You don't care if it's Shell, Exxon, or a no-name station when the price is bottom barrel and you only fill up once a month. The secret isn't that we are moving away from gas, it's that the gas is becoming so cheap and common that it's no longer worth the cost of the land it's sold on. The surplus is the poison, but the efficiency of green energy is the coffin. The transition leaves us with a haunting visual, the ghost station. Across the country, we're starting to see the first wave of these 145,000 locations go dark. But unlike a closed coffee shop or a shuttered boutique, a dead gas station can't just be flipped into a new trendy bistro overnight. The final hidden mechanism that will kill the gas station is the environmental liability wall. Because these sites have held toxic chemicals underground for decades, the cost to clean the soil, the remediation, can reach millions of dollars. As profit margins vanish due to the oil surplus and EV competition, owners are finding themselves trapped. They can't afford to stay open, but they can't afford the exit fee to close and sell the land. The irony is that the very thing that made the gas station a miracle of the 20th century, putting fuel on every corner, has made it a geographical scar in the 21st. We are moving toward a future where energy is ambient. It's in the solar panels on your roof, the chargers in the grocery store parking lot, and the regenerative braking in your wheels. Energy is becoming something that happens while you do other things, rather than a destination you have to visit. As we look at the massive oil surplus of 2026, we have to realize it's not just a dip in the market, it's the sound of a door closing. The gas station was a bridge between the horse and buggy and the electric age. We've reached the other side of that bridge, and we're starting to pull up the planks. The question that remains isn't whether the gas station will survive. The math says it won't. The real question is, what do we do with 145,000 toxic corners in the middle of our neighborhoods once the pumps stop spinning for good? We built our world around the 5-minute fill-up. Now we have to figure out how to live in a world that doesn't need to stop. If you're wondering how this collapse will hit your specific city, you need to look at the post-gas real estate maps starting to appear in urban planning offices. If this shift from scarcity to surplus changed how you look at your next commute, hit the subscribe button. We're tracking the death of the old economy and the birth of the new one every single week. The world is changing faster than the signs at the pump. Don't get left behind at the station.